like an awkward in them.
All right. Um, I think we're on the air now.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Geek Speaks. Everything nerdy is right here. I am here with Creating Beyond Limits and also Nightcore and your host,
Hello.
Nightlake in 720. So today, our main topic will be about VR. Is it going to be exciting in the future? Is there going to be problems with it? Um, we'll get to that as soon as we get to know the cast. Um, I guess creating beyond limits. Do you want to talk about a little bit about yourself?
I do YouTube videos whenever I get a chance. I do gaming videos, other type of nerdy videos, reactions, top fives, top tens, stuff like that. Right now, I'm doing a top 10 Linkin Park songs because Linkin Park is my favorite band, and after the sad news that
Yeah, it's
happened, I
sad.
always I always planned on doing a video like of my favorite Linkin Park songs, and I just thought in honor of Linkin Park and Chester and stuff, I'd put one out because they're my number one band, and that's just sad news.
Yeah, I mean, I never expected that from him, to be honest.
Yeah, you could. It's just you never know, and hopefully anyone that's watching, if you're ever going through anything, you could try call for like ask for help. There's always hopefully someone there that can help.
Yeah. Uh, Nightcore, you want to talk a little bit about yourself?
I don't really have much to say. I'm not like a big YouTuber or anything. I just like video games and all nerdy stuff.
Nerdy stuff's always good.
I have too many games than I can count, so.
All right. Hmm. Wondering why it did that. Hold on. This is like the first time I'm doing this, and I'm kind of learning. It's like I look at the
Uh,
screen and I see that it's showing almost everything still. I don't know
it's
why.
working though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's working.
So what we gonna talk about VR, is it?
Um, yeah, just a little bit, but I was thinking like I talk about one of the things that I saw this week uh was Castlevania came out on Netflix, and I don't know if anybody's too familiar with that, but that is based on a video game. There's only 4 episodes, but the way they did the style of the show, it kind of reminds me of like if you've seen Hellsing, and probably like God, what is the show? God, I can't remember it. um, but it had God, what is it? It will come back to me. Anyway, um, but it's basically about Dracula, and I guess something happened where he pretty much got really pissed off with humans that he made a rampage on the world basically, and that's pretty much it. But there's like magic, and then there's like demons and fucking werewolves and stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome for only
I
four
am
episodes.
familiar with the games. I did play some of them. I have seen the trailer, and my friends already told us that the show is really good. I heard the only bad thing really about it is that it's 4 episodes. I do plan on watching it. I was actually thinking of doing like a reaction to the series or something like that because I thought that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I do plan on watching it. I've
Yeah,
heard good things.
I watch them. They're like, it's almost like, I think almost an hour for each episode, but it's really awesome to me. And
I did see that the show did get renewed for a second season, and I think the second season is going to have 8 or 12 episodes. I think it's 8 though. But it's meant to have more episodes in the second season, so that's good.
yeah, that's definitely good. Um, I mean, for me, like, it's like you don't tease people like that saying, hey, here's 4 episodes. Enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Because the second you're watching the 4 episodes, and if they're really short, you're just literally getting into the show, and then you're like, oh, it's over. You have to wait a year or two for the next season. If it even, like, sometimes they don't even get second seasons. But luckily, the show did well already, and it got renewed. So
I
just
feel
have to
like
wait a
that
year.
happens to all animes though, 'cause like the really good ones they should have renewed, and then there's ones that like you left questioning why they wanted to renew a season.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years until like the second season of Attack on Titan came out, and it's finally out this year, and it's finished now.
Yeah, that's good.
But people waited 3 years. I waited like 3 years on that. So
I actually never saw an episode. I feel I apologize for that one.
I highly recommend watching Attack on Titan. I can actually recommend
Yeah,
a
it's a
few
very
animes.
good anime. I've watched all of it now.
Hmm.
I only seen the first like 3 or 4 episodes of season 2 at the moment because I was waiting for all of the English dub to finish before I watched it. So I still have a few episodes to watch in season 2.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's yeah. I planned on it. I guess I'm kind of lazy about it because I sometimes like with big series like it's like sometimes time consuming. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, like Attack on Titan season 1 has like I think it's 25 episodes. The second season is a lot shorter. It's only 12 or 13 episodes long. So if you get through the first season, there's only 12 episodes in the second one, and then it's gonna be like another 3 years probably for the next one to come out. So you have time to catch up.
that's good. Um, the other one I watched before that, I actually found it. Luckily, it was called Elfenlied. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Is that the one with the psychic girl?
Telekinesis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and she like rips
I
everyone apart.
I got the complete season, including a bonus like episode that I guess never aired or something, and that was just like awesome. Kind of like shocked at the graphics, but I guess you kind of expect it with that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that show literally goes all the way with everything in it.
Mm.
I like the anime, but I'm not a massive fan of realistic gore. Or,
The gore was needed. No, it wasn't. It was a bit over the top, but he was so
yeah,
OP.
it's just a
Everyone in
little
that
bit.
show.
I think that's what makes an anime interesting sometimes. Like when I watched One Punch Man, it's like the graphics from him just like the one knockout punch of like hitting somebody was just like what the hell, you know?
I still have to finish One Punch Man. I've only seen the first 6 episodes, I think, of that show.
Oh, well, I'm not ruining the ending for you then.
Yeah, I heard
I've
it gets
never seen it
crazy at
at
the
all.
end.
Yeah. Um, have you watched anything good lately, you two?
TV show wise, what did I watch recently? I can't remember what it's called. It was based on a real story or something. I watched it on Netflix. I really can't. The name's not coming to me. Uh, what else did I watch then? uh, hmm. Well, I can't think of anything right now that I've been watching. But movie-wise, I recently went to see the new Spider-Man: Homecoming movie. I thought that was a really good movie. I seen the newest Planet of the Apes movie. That was awesome. If you seen the other two, you'd really enjoy the third one. I think it's the last one also. Um, yeah, I seen those two movies. Thought they were awesome. And if I can think of anything else that I've seen recently, I'll let you know.
Mm. The movies that I want to see right now, my wife won't agree with me. But I wanted to see Dunkirk and the new Wonder Woman, just 'cause like those two time frames seem really cool to watch.
Wonder Woman's awesome. You'll really enjoy it. It's the best out of the DC movies by far.
Really? Like even more
Oh
than
yeah.
Batman?
Oh yeah, totally. Well, I'm not the biggest Batman fan, but I was never a Wonder Woman fan before I seen this. Like I never really seen anything to do with Wonder Woman. I did see things to do with Batman, but like the whole Batman versus Superman movie, I didn't think it was all that great. I didn't think it was like super bad like everyone said it was, but
Yeah,
it
it wasn't
didn't.
super bad. It's
No, yeah,
just
like it didn't deserve all the hate it got. Like overall, it was an okay movie. It just wasn't the best. I didn't think.
I just think the
But
casting suffered. Like who the
oh
hell
yeah,
thought that one guy being Lex Luthor was a good idea?
I don't know, but that was he was probably like the worst person in that movie. Luckily enough, he wasn't in it too much. But overall, the reason why I think Wonder Woman is the better movie from all the ones that they released so far in the DC universe is because I think it's the best balanced, like with stuff going on every now and like it doesn't slow down too much where you're getting bored or anything like that. Like it has a good pace, the characters are interesting, and the action's awesome, and the time that it's set in is different from the other ones, so it works, and she's badass in it.
Well, that's good. I mean, for me, I feel like Hollywood's running out of ideas lately. Because, like, if you notice some of the movies that are coming out, it's like, I feel like it's all been written before, you know? Or, like, they've taken ideas from a previous movie and split them into a different, like, movie. The same way, like, they've been doing with TV shows lately. It's like, if you've seen Big Bang Theory, they did something where now it's apparently young Sheldon in high school or something. Like he's like too young to be in
Hi.
high school. It's like,
I actually seen the trailer for the pilot of this show.
yeah, right.
I actually think it looks better than I thought. It was like I was ready to hate on that. Like I haven't obviously the episode's not out yet or the show, but from the trailer for the show, I actually was like, oh, this actually looks okay.
Yeah, I mean it looks okay. It's just like it's almost like the same principle they're aiming at. I mean, but it's just a younger version of him.
Yeah, it's easier to because making a show like that based on something that has millions of people watching, they know they're more likely guaranteed to already get high numbers for the show.
Yeah.
So it's just a way of milking this Big Bang Theory because we all like that show is not gonna last too much longer. Like I know I think it got renewed for like another 2 seasons or something, but most of the actors in that show don't want to be on it anymore. So
Mm. Yeah. Well, I mean that's what happens over time. It's like I guess people want to do other things, other projects, but they may not be able to.
yeah, the money they get for that show though is unreal.
Oh, I
Like,
can imagine.
did you see like how much like they get like 1 million per episode? Like that's insane.
Hmm. That
Like I
kind of
think the
reminds me of like Seinfeld
Friends.
back in the day. Jerry Springer, was it? No, not Jerry Springer. Dummy. Um, Jerry Seinfeld, I think, almost caused the show to end because his co-actors realized he was getting like 1 million or something per episode. Per episode. And they were flipping out that they weren't getting paid enough. They must have
That's
agreed to
crazy.
something, yeah, because like the show continued on, you know?
Yeah. Imagine getting that much per episode and having a
Oh, I
show that
know.
has 20 episodes a season.
Yeah, that's like 20 million right in the pocket right there.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind that money. Hand it over.
Oh yeah, even half of it, even 1 million of it, anything, please. It'd be so nice.
uh, Um. So, any movies you might be interested in, Nightcore, that's coming out, or ones that
Mm,
you want to see?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Uh,
Really, Marvel thing I've liked is Guardians of the Galaxy.
they came
So,
out with a second one of that. I haven't seen it yet.
It doesn't have to be Marvel based.
Yeah,
Any movie,
yeah.
like
mm,
Could be
any
based off a book.
comedies, rom coms, action, anything.
I mostly like films like Avatar and
Didn't they
Like
make a
Avatar: The
just
sequel
Last
to that?
sci-fi
Airbender,
sort of thing. No,
Avatar: The Last
like
Airbender, or Blue People Avatar.
Blue
Blue
People
People
Avatar.
Avatar.
The
The very
worst one,
simple
I
way to put
guess. Avatar: The Last Airbender one Avatar is better, but okay. But
it.
not the live action movie. That's shit. Never watched that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think was it Midnight Shyamalan did that movie, and I heard it bombed.
That movie is terrible. Anyone like that movie doesn't exist. It's like Dragon Ball Evolution. Like if you
Oh
know
yeah,
what
that
Dragon Ball is,
movie.
Dragon Ball Z, they did a live action movie called Dragon Ball Evolution, and it is dog shit. It doesn't exist. It is so bad.
It like
Anything
disrespected the
bad doesn't
fans.
exist.
Exactly. Like they changed everything. The main like Goku's best friend wasn't even in it. They changed lots of shit. It looked ridiculous. It was bad. Oh,
It was like the
it
director
hurts.
was doing coke or something.
Let's just change the topic. It hurts too much to talk about this.
See, this is what Hollywood does. They hurt fans. You
Yeah,
made
they
Dean
hurt.
cry.
The emotional pain is too great.
It's too much. You don't go wrecking Dragon Ball or Last Airbender or anything like that. Oh fuck yeah! We should talk about Death Note, like the net live action movie from Netflix that's coming out in August.
What is
Like
it?
if anyone's seen Death Note the anime, like so far
Oh,
everything I've seen on the movie for Netflix, like I think it looks shit.
I think yeah, I think I saw the trailer for that and it reminded me of the first pilot episode, like exact frame from frame. Like how the book fell and it rained and everything. I was like, that's like in like the whole show. Like it's exactly frame to frame.
Yeah, but then the trailer had lots of explosions and just random shit, and I'm like, was this isn't Death Note? What?
Yeah.
The fact that it's a movie and not a TV show is also crazy. Like, unless they said there's going to be three or more than one movie, how the hell are they meant to fit the whole story into like an hour and a half movie or something like that? It's gonna feel rushed.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I feel like when people ever make these things, it's always going to be a trouble where you know that, like, for example, like, a movie is 2 hours, then they might cut out some really good, like, parts in a movie or TV show or whatever, and you just may not like it, especially if it made sense to what's going on, you know? Um,
What's the anytime an anime or something like that gets adapted to live action or most things, it's like if a game becomes a movie. It just doesn't work. Sometimes
No.
things just belong the way they were created originally.
yeah.
Like if something's a game, it's probably better off as a game and not a movie.
But we
Like there
need
are the odd like times where it does work, yeah, or it's all right. But lots of the majority of the time, like that's why, like whenever someone sees like a movie-based game or the other way around, like you're already expecting it to be bad because majority of them are bad.
Hmm. I don't know what it was, but I saw a good thing. Like, they did this thing with Halo where they turned it into a short film.
Yeah, there's a few Halo movies.
some
Uh,
with like
Yeah, that's
different
the only one I've seen
backstories.
that works.
which one? Forward Until Dawn, or
Forward
because
Until
there's a
Dawn.
few. Well, there's like two of them, I think.
I don't know what the other one is then.
There's the one with Agent Locke. Was Agent Locke in it?
No.
Or was there lots of young kids in a school?
Oh, the
Yeah,
one where
that
they're
one.
like young and then they're trying to train them to be like super
Yeah.
soldiers. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, that's Forward Until Dawn. That's really good.
I didn't
Um,
know they released the second one.
Yeah, they released another one when Halo 5 came out. Uh, and Agent Locke is the main character. In it, like
Mm.
the actor.
Agent Locke.
I only seen the first episode or the first two episodes. I think there's like 4 or 5. I never finished it. I was never as attached to that one as I was Forward Until Dawn because I think that one was shorter. Like I think each episode was like a few minutes or I can't remember how long. But the one with Agent Locke, I think each one was like 10 or 20 minutes, like proper length. I think, and it just wasn't as interesting. I don't think.
Hmm.
I
But
didn't
yeah.
really like the new Halos that much. It just went off track for me rather than the traditional where it became more sort of about graphics and sci-fi.
Halo 4 is like a hate love thing for me. Like I love Halo 4 and I hate it at the same time for two different
No,
reasons. Like
I lost interest after Halo 3. It just sort of changed in vibe or something. It's hard to
Halo
explain.
Halo 4's campaign is very shit and boring, like the
Yeah,
mission layouts. But Halo 4's story, like all the cinematics, all the story that's going on with Cortana, I think is one of the best stories in Halo. It just has the shitty campaign missions and the Prometheans. Like the Prometheans are cool, but they're shit enemies to fight. They're not that fun. They're not as fun as fighting the elites and grunts and the Flood.
yeah. I think
And
that's what it is. When the Prometheans came in, I was just done.
like yeah, and the layout and the missions, they were boring. It wasn't really that interesting. It didn't really feel the same. But the story
Yeah.
was the highlight for that game. That has like probably the best story. Like when Halo 4 ends and that last cinematic with Cortana and stuff happens, like I was like emotional. I was like, damn, that was fucking amazing. I think I played the last part of the mission like a bunch of times just so I can see, like fight the last boss and see that cutscene because the story was just like that. The story in the game was so good, but everything else about it was shit,
Yeah.
and that's why I hate it and also love it. It's a problem.
I think, like, in some cases with the whole idea of movies being into games, like, we've seen a lot of movies flop. Especially that Assassin's Creed movie, which everybody thought was gonna be a game changer, but then that was just disappointing, apparently.
Oh, that
Um,
movie was so shit. Like that movie was so shit. Like I was literally like I never leave a movie,
that
but
made you leave?
no, I really wanted it though. Like I want the only reason I stayed was because I was like I have to know just how much like how bad it gets. I can't really say I've seen the movie if I end up leaving, type of thing. And damn, it was awful. Like it was just so boring. Like if I think it was like I don't think it was that long. Like it was probably like the normal length, like an hour and a half or slightly a little bit longer. But it felt like it was on for 4 fucking hours or something. Like give me Lord of the Rings 2 times over, not that shit again. It was so bad. Like Lord of the Rings is
I
amazing.
I would
I'm
have
just
been
saying it
like,
because
give
the
me my money back.
well, I have a like over here, like my cinema does a thing where you pay €20 a month and you can see as many movies as you want
Get
during
the
that month.
hell out of here. I wish we had that here.
Yeah, that's
Except for
pretty
the
cool.
Euro part.
Well, it'd be like $20 a month for you. Like if it was to convert, it'd be like $22 or something
See,
a
I could
month.
just go to the theater and watch all the new movies like that way. Plan a
Yeah, that's
day.
what like 20. I think it's 29, 21, or just €20 a month, and you can go see as many movies as you want during that month. You can see as many movies as you want a day. you can see the same movie as many times as you want. Like it's just as much as you want to go see a movie or any movie, you can
Huh.
go during that month. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes they even have like unlimited screenings where you can get to see a movie like 2 days before it's out over in Ireland or something like that.
Oh,
So it's pretty
really?
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like that's how we get that. We pay the monthly thing and we just go whenever we can. That's how we
Nice.
like I get a chance to see some of the newer movies.
I would love to see a game movie on Fallout, in my opinion, because people have already done that kind of style of movies without games, and I think it would fit in. You know what I mean? Or a TV series for that matter. You know? Because, like, people love, like, the idea of a dystopian, and if for any of you that don't know what a dystopian means, it is a term that is used for, like, the end of the world, basically scenarios. Like, in books, that's when somebody would say, oh, it's a dystopian. That's just basically what it means. But I think like those kind of things, like you see Mad Max, like I think that's an underrated movie. Like I love Mad Max, and I think like you just need to see more of that kind of style.
I
Um,
only seen the newest Mad Max that came out like 2 years ago. The Mad Max Fury Road. That's the only one I've seen.
I unfortunately haven't seen that one yet, and but I have seen all the ones that involved Mel Gibson. And out of that series, the classic that I loved was like, which was the sequel, Road Warrior. That's when they were like trying to get back what they lost in the first one, and that movie like made Mel Gibson's career go off basically.
I have all the Mad Max movies on Blu-ray because I
Nice.
seen Mad Max and the Fury Road in the cinema, like in the pictures, and like only like a few months ago, probably like half a year ago, I got a box set with all of them, like Mad Max and the Fury Road, plus the other older ones with Mel Gibson in them. I just haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
Yeah, the second one I think was the best because it actually reminds me of Fallout. Like just the idea that a guy in a and his leather jacket looks exactly like a similar leather jacket that you find in Fallout. By the way, it has like the shoulder pad to it, and it's just crazy how I made that connection. I was like, this looks familiar. Like it legitly looks like his jacket that you can wear, but you know I just like, like I do like Walking Dead and stuff because like it is like a different scenario in the world. It's like the end of the world, and this is what people go through.
Yeah, it would be a good show. Uh, like if it's Fallout related, it'd be cool because it'd be filled with like super mutants and stuff like that, and the Raiders and
Exactly.
the what are they called? Oh, what the Death Claws?
I
Like
could
it'd be
see it
cool.
being like a thriller drama. There's some like thrills in
Yeah, like
there.
it could, like yeah, because like the danger of going out like with radiation in certain areas and stuff like that, getting sick, mutating, seeing all the fucked up animals and shit. Like it could be like a thriller type thing, cause like death claws are scary. Like they could be
They're
done
like
very
one of the
scarily.
worst creatures to deal with. And
Like
I've played
yeah,
Fallout for so many hours, I know that for a fact that when you're starting out and you're trying to cheat the game by cutting corners, like you don't want to come across them. Because either if you survive, you use up all your ammo and you're pretty much screwed then, or you just die and you have to start all over again.
yeah. Like in a show, the characters in the show, they wouldn't be like your main character in the game with a helper. If a Deathclaw gets to them and scratches them, that would fuck them up, they'd be dead. Deathclaw's be even scarier in a show.
I
Yeah.
think I'd like to see more apocalyptic things, but the only really end of the world scenarios that they really have is zombies, which I think are kind of overused at this point.
No such thing as
So I
too many
think it would be
zombies.
refreshing.
I mean, I'd be
The
okay
zombies are a bit.
with. There's a series that's coming out on FX that I saw, and I think it involves vampires. but it's like the end of the world. And it kind of reminds me of that movie with Ethan Hawking.
I have an important question though.
Yeah,
You ready?
go for it,
Do the
pal.
vampires sparkle?
No, they didn't.
Okay, I'm sold. What's it called?
It's called The Strain. It
Oh, but
looks
it's
like
not
they're
the same if they
vampires.
don't sparkle.
They don't sparkle? That's
Vampires
awesome.
don't sparkle. That was just
But that's
advertised.
half the fun, though.
Don't look at me. I
No,
sparkle.
I'll give it a.
Oh god, you're hideous. Ah.
Now my wife loves Twilight, but that's the one thing that I don't mind the movies. They're okay. It's
I know,
just
I
the
don't really
part
care. Like they're not like there's nothing wrong with them, but like just the fact that that's the
they
thing
sparkle.
about them. It's like walk into the light, they sparkle. It's like seriously, like who gives a shit? You have glitter on you. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna be a sparkly vampire.
See, you could just go around sparkled and everybody would just assume that you did that with your makeup or something. If you're a guy vampire and you sparkle, you just yeah.
That scene in the movie was probably the thing that made it so funny for everyone to mess with too.
I
Just the
cringe
fact that they
looking at them.
sparkled. Just because they sparkled.
I cringe looking at them every time. It's like, Edward, just wipe your face off or something, please.
But you can't let the glitter
Sparkly.
Shiny vampires. That was uttered for sex appeal.
It's like, why are you playing with the glitter? Aren't you 500 years old?
I don't get why everyone's like, oh my god, they're so handsome. Just thinking you need to lay off the glitter. You just need to stop.
I can't believe that
It's
was...
blinding me.
There's like a... What was it? Like Team Edward versus Team Jacob? It's like, why was there ever one? Like, I just feel like that was a female thing. And my sister went crazy over that stuff. And I was like...
Yeah, why was no team girl? It's only the two guys.
It's this stereotypical girls like some guy to swoon over. I don't get why they have to be sparkly, but...
Yeah, but the girls could like the girl instead of the guys, or the guys could like the girl, or whatever.
I'd honestly prefer that and find that more interesting. Because it's just about
that would've been
being
too
act like, oh.
That would have been too ahead of their time, being all like thinking of everyone and having it like that, you know? They had to just be all,
I would
the
have
two
been...
guys.
I would have been more surprised if they went on the approach like True Blood did, where like all the vampires that have been around forever, they don't just share love with like if they're a guy, and if they were into females, they've experimented, so they don't care anymore. They live forever, so like they're just like, oh, it's a dude, okay, let's go, you know, just like that kind of moment, and you're just like, oh. So these vampires don't care.
True Blood is that was a pretty good show from everything I've seen. I think I've seen 5 seasons of it, and I just stopped for some reason. I think it was
That's
gone.
probably when I stopped too.
I never finished the last 2 or the last season. I know I didn't finish it anyway. It was starting to go a little bit crazy, and I think I took a break and just never went back to it. But there was a few cool things about it. Like I liked how when the vampires in the show cried or something like that, their tears was blood. Like that was pretty cool. And when they died, they just exploded and blood was everywhere.
I did like
That
the
was also
fact that in the show True Blood that like I feel like a movie like Twilight didn't explore enough was like there was different creatures. There was like fairies in True Blood. There was like shapeshifters.
Werewolves.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was different people there, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, that's like you should have a show if it's like, you know, full of these creatures. That makes it even more awesome.
Yeah, I like stuff like vampires, werewolves, and shit like that. If it's done right, it could be good. I still haven't seen the newest Underworld movie, and that's like vampire and werewolf. I did see the other ones, I just didn't see the newest one. I heard it wasn't the best, and I just was like, okay, avoid until a later date because I wasn't in the mood to rush out and see it.
You were just like, yeah, I don't need to see that right away.
I was like, nah, I'll watch it at some point maybe. Like I wasn't like the other Underworld movies, like they're like some of them were decent, but they were never like amazing or anything like that.
Hmm.
Mm. I just wait for other people to watch things and then get their feedback before seeing things.
That's usually how things are done sometimes too. You know, like, is this good? Eh.
Like, that's the thing I wanted to do on my channel more, like was to do movie reviews and stuff like that. Uh, in review shows or something that I watched. Because like I said, with the cinema thing that I have, like I sometimes do see some of the newer movies, probably not straight away. And sometimes America and stuff like that gets movies before we do. But like I'd like to just like if I see a movie, just like record my opinion on it. You know? Like,
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Really good movie. Blah, the acting was good. Tom Holland did a good job as Spider-Man. It was a lot better than the Amazing Spider-Man, that's for sure.
Mm.
Um. So, have you guys played any good games this week?
Uh, well, I'm playing Oni Guru, or how you pronounce it.
What are you playing?
It's a free anime game, which is surprising because most anime games are just like this, all where all you do is fighting, but this one has like side quests and other stuff.
Is it an MMO?
Yeah.
Is it shit?
No, it's surprisingly free. It's a free multiplayer game, which like not many people pay attention to, but it's quite good actually.
Oh,
It's
Uh,
that's
just
good.
people think because it's an anime game that it's traditionally going to be shit, and most anime games I come across all the same mostly, but this one has like different types of like classes that you can be and all this other stuff.
Oh, that's good. It's always good when there is a free-to-play game that actually is free to play, and it doesn't have like a bunch of things locked behind a paywall and stuff like that.
yeah.
No,
Have
there's
you
not
put much
really.
time into it?
I've been playing it for about 3 days now. There's not really anything that you need to get with money.
Yeah.
There's additional things that you can get, but it's not like an essential like some games will have you do that are free.
Mm.
Alright.
Like they have the free game and then they make you have to buy stuff to carry on the story.
Alright, that's good. There's some really good free-to-play games on the Xbox.
Yeah, I've played a few of them. Uh, there's one called Hawken that's kind of like what is Titanfall. It's kind of like the robot fighting of Titanfall, but all you do is just mech fights. That's it. It's actually
Mm.
pretty chill.
Uh, there's like, what would I recommend free-to-play wise? Did anyone
World
here
of
ever play
Tanks.
Warframe?
Warframe?
No.
No.
Highly recommend checking it out. It could be for you. If you ever thought Destiny looked like a good game, I know. I don't know if you. I know Nightlight can play Destiny because we played it together. I don't
Yeah.
know if you have Nightcore, but it's like third person. You're a ninja in space, and it's awesome. You get to do missions. You have a sword, use a gun. You can reflect bullets, and I've only played a little bit of it, but it was pretty awesome. It's still getting lots of updates, and it is completely free to play. You can do lots of grinding and stuff to get weapons and other higher loot things, but you don't need to pay anything to play the game.
That's
What
pretty.
I like is that if you have gold, they put a lot of games on sale that would traditionally be like £50, like Hitman and Dragon
Yeah.
Age Origins, and they put it on there for free. So I've been trying a lot of those lately.
Oh, you're talking about the games with gold one?
Yeah, they always give you deals, so you can just get them for free.
Yeah, every month, new games with gold.
Yeah. So
Always something to look at.
sometimes the games are not worth it, and then sometimes they have that random game that you're like, they added this?
Well, it depends really. Like, because a good portion of the time, they're like, most of the time they're like smaller indie games, and it just really depends on like what type of game do you like. Like I like all type of games. Like like most types of games I don't really play are sports games like FIFA.
Yeah.
Like I play the odd racing game every now and again. It's not my, it's probably like my other least favorite, but I'd play a racing game well over like FIFA. But like puzzle games and stuff like that, like I'm not good at them, but I play them. Platformers, I love platformers. So smaller indie games, like I'd give them a chance more likely, and more likely love them. Like I'm not someone that cares about graphics or anything like that. If something's pixelated, like that doesn't bother me. I
Yeah.
played games pixelated when I was younger. Still love them today. Still, if a game comes out and it
S-
looks like it belongs 20 years ago, it doesn't bother me as long as the gameplay is good.
You ever go back in time, like from me and you, like
I
we
can't,
played
I can't
those.
time travel.
Well, it's like we remembered like having like the Nintendo or the Sega Genesis in our living rooms, and it's just like we thought that was the most awesome graphics at the time. And then as time went on, we got PlayStation 1 or something, and it's just like, whoa, now it's just ridiculous. Like,
Oh
really.
yeah, like I don't know why people care about graphics so much. Like there's people that you see like putting lots of money into their like PCs, and then people going to get the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X just
Those,
because they're able to do 4K and shit. I'm there looking at my games now on a 1080p TV, and I'm just like, games already look good enough. I'm not in a rush. Like I can't, like games are so good looking now. It's hard to even picture like how they can look even better. Like I know they can look more detailed and the image can be clearer in 4K and stuff like that. But like they already look amazing. Most like the big AAA games like Destiny,
mm,
Rise of Rome, other games like Uncharted, like they already look
Mm.
amazing.
The
yep.
only concern I have about that is that I'm worried they'll get to a point where they start like pushing it so far that it becomes almost too realistic. I mean, in my eyes, the point of a game is to distract from reality and to be separate from um all the stuff
Well,
like
I
going to
wouldn't say
work,
for
going to
every type of
school.
game, but if there's a game that like its point, like its story or something like that, and it suits more with a realistic style because the story that they're trying to tell, they
Yeah.
want it to be more real. Like I wouldn't say every game would go for that, but there's probably already games that like trying to go for the more realistic look as
And
best as they can.
they're trying to
Yeah.
I
push like different boundaries. Like, are you familiar that GTA made, like how there's Pokemon Go? They made a
yeah.
version for that that's coming out. It's GTA to Go. And basically what the screen looks like is almost similar to like when you're trying to catch Pokemon on the go, but there's a gun and you can like shoot like, and it's like weird because you can literally like see a screen of what looks like a car in the street, like the actual street, and it supposedly has a target on it. And it's like, that is going to encourage a lot of violence. Like it's like the worst thing you can have. It's a good idea like if you're an adult when you know better, but if a kid gets a hold of it, forget it. He'll think like, "Oh, it's okay for me to like shoot a person in that car or something down the street just because my game was like letting me do it."
Mm.
Yeah. But like to the realistic thing, like there's always gonna be developers and stuff like that, like the indie devs that prefer the art style of games looking pixelated, or games looking all colorful like The Legend of Zelda or Sunset Overdrive. Like lots of developers go for their art style that they like and stick with it because they like it. They don't care if people are gonna be like, "Oh, Sunset Overdrive, it looks shit because look at like it's all colorful and cartoony. Obviously, it's the graphics are shit because that's what it looks like, even though it's just the art style and that's what they were like. That was the intention for the game."
People just like to complain.
Yup,
I
they complain
mostly
too
just
much.
like cartoony, sort of anime, bright colors games. I don't really go for realism in games. I just like it if it's silly.
If I see a trailer or something like that, because like I love games that have a good story. Like I love playing, uh, like Uncharted or some Telltale games, or like Life is Strange. Anything that like has a strong story, like I'll definitely play if it looks interesting. Or even if the game doesn't have a good story, but the gameplay is just really fun and it's a good game to play. Like I'd give that a chance more. Like I wouldn't judge a game before playing it.
Mm. I'm wondering if they can somehow show you guys my game.
Hmm.
Um,
Too many people see a trailer or something like that and they just trash on it without playing it. Like I can understand that you're not interested in the game because the trailer didn't impress you, but to just say a game is shit and stuff like that, even though you don't know anything about the game or played it, you just seen a trailer. Like there's plenty of times like a movie or a game or anything like that just had a really bad trailer, and then the actual product impressed you a lot more than you were expecting.
Yep.
Like trailers aren't
mm.
everything.
No,
The
like
only thing
sometimes
is,
you gotta give it a chance.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
especially with
it would
games,
show
because
up on stream.
like games are like really different. Like even if you're watching a stream, and then the difference from you watching a stream and playing the game yourself, it's always different because it feels different when you have the controller in your own hands and you're playing it yourself, because you just get that feeling of the game when like more so when you're like actually the one controlling it.
Yeah.
Like when you play Sunset Overdrive, the game just feels like it's really fun to play and goof around in, or like Saints Row or something like that. It's different.
So now that we're talking about these kind of things, our main topic for today is about uh, virtual reality, and we have been seeing developments from each console, including like PC gaming, and there's some really good titles that have come out. The question is like, is it gonna get anywhere farther? Do you guys think that there's some negative feedback that's going to happen, or anything positive that you would like to see happen?
Um, I guess the main thing that's important for virtual reality is for it to just become more affordable for everyone.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm not gonna get a virtual reality headset. Like, I'm just not. Especially if I don't get a chance to try one for free, like in a GameStop or something set up. Like, I'm not gonna spend that kind of money on something that I don't know if it's actually gonna be as good as people say it is, and I wouldn't want to take the chance. Especially when most of the games out for it are just like they just look like demos for to show off the tech. Like most of them are just demos to show off the technology. Like it really hasn't gotten anywhere. Like I know Resident Evil 7 supports it and stuff like that, but there's not many big games that are mainly just like focused as you should play this in VR and only VR really. You know,
Hmm. That's a good point. Uh,
like I know it's important like for it to sell first because there's not going to be that many companies or developers that are going to put millions upon millions into a VR like a big AAA VR game if it doesn't have the units already out there or something like but
yep.
it's just that because of the technology of a VR headset, like it's always going to be like expensive somewhat, like it's always going to be expensive like if you want a good one.
Yeah. And
So
that's the thing, like, you see a bunch of, like, higher end, like, YouTubers that can afford one, and, some of the games that they've gotten a hold of for them are kind of sweet. Like, there's a Rick and Morty one, and then there's
yeah, I seen that. That looks awesome.
a couple
Well, how
horror
long would that
games.
last? That's only like an hour or less, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get something, like you spend a couple of hundred on it, and then most of your games you're getting, and you'd finish them in like one session. And then you're like, oh, well, it's not really replayable unless friends are over or family or someone that I can show this off to and show how cool it is, or like see their reaction or what they think of it. Like you're not really gonna be playing Rick and Morty every day or
Yeah.
anything like that.
That's like the whole idea of when I heard that they were making a Fallout 4 VR, and I was like, well, the game's been out for quite a while. Why have that out? Like, why not just come up with a different story but not put as much into it as you did with the Fallout 4? But from what I saw in the preview, it seemed like it would be an interesting game. Like, it seems like you have to load your own gun and cock it and stuff, but, you know, what's not to say that there won't be glitches or flaws to the gameplay, and
Always glitches and follow. It's
or
part of the game.
or it freezes on you when you least expect it.
It's follow for it. It's a Bethesda game.
It's a fun game though for me.
Oh no, yeah, like I love Fallout. I wasn't the biggest fan of Fallout 4 or New Vegas, but I love Fallout 3.
See, I thought Vegas was okay. Some of the add-ons to the new Fallout 4 weren't my like cup of tea, I think.
Majority of the DLC for Fallout 4 was stuff to build with and stuff like that. Shit stuff. It only had two proper DLCs. The fucking Nuke Town, whatever it's called, Nuka Cola Land, and then the other one. All the other ones were just like things that give you more to build with, like not actual missions.
Yeah.
The story of Fallout 4 is what turned me off finishing it. Like the whole finding your kid, like, and then like how that turns out. The second I found my kid and I was really disappointed with how it turned out, I just stopped playing the game. It was shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Honestly, I
turn it
do
on
like
every now and
playing with
again.
I do like the mods in it, but
Yeah,
other than that, because some of the people that make those are really creative. Like, you would never expect this much out of like the game. Um,
that's the only reason why I turn it on every now and again. Is because I just turn it on, go on to the mods page, update my mods and see if I can see any cool ones. Then I just turn it on for a few, mess around, and then turn it off.
there's a couple of them I tried out, like zombie apocalypse and stuff.
The
And
quest ones and like ones that add different areas and stuff are cool.
yeah, they add quests, like to the game. Like, there's
I
one where you can find your wife that was shot.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
downloaded one that was like Freddy Krueger. You
Freddy
went,
Krueger.
yeah, you went to a bed that I told you to go to, and you sleep in it, and then you wake up in like some dreamland with like a Freddy Krueger type thing in it. It was pretty cool.
Wow, I didn't even know about that one. That sounds pretty
It,
cool.
yeah, I wonder if it's still there. I also downloaded like the Legend of Zelda like soundtrack and stuff like that. So I just have like Zelda music whenever I turn it on. Like it's pretty awesome.
Nice.
And also the Guardians of the Galaxy mixtape Volume One. So
You
I just
got
have the
that too.
music. Yeah, so
Nice.
some fun things to just have on.
Cool. Um, yeah, I think with the whole VR thing, the only thing that I would say that concerns me, um, is because, like, humanity has been known to have people that have, um, mental states that are not good. Also, not to mention, like, if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, or whatever the case may be. Like, um, there could be some things that in the future that they could improve upon, and it may cause some issues to people, especially young people that may not be able to grasp what is reality and what isn't, you know? And that's just like because people have always had issues. Um, and it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's probably like you probably just like for younger people, like kids, like if they have one, or if some people do have issues, like there's just really gonna have to be like a time sort of management thing. Like, take a break every now and again, because it's probably a bad thing in general for anyone. Like in games in general, but like if you're playing a game in VR, I highly doubt it's a good thing to have one of them on for like too many hours in a row.
Hmm. I don't know. It's just like the idea of VR. Like I've seen ones where like a guy's souped up and then like he's basically on like a treadmill looking thing. I mean, I could see the benefit of like maybe VR being like a good health game. Like if you create games where you're traveling to one end of the map to another or something, that might be pretty cool. It'd probably keep people in shape that way if you wanted to. Something to occupy you, things like that.
Yeah, that'd be good. There's lots of cool things that could be done with VR. I just haven't been sold on it, and it's a technology that I can't really have too much of like an opinion on it until I actually use it. Because I know for a fact that once I know what it's like to actually experience something in virtual reality, like the second I put that headset on, I'll have a completely different mindset on the device and if it's actually worth it. But like it's hard to have like it's like with Kinect on the Xbox and other things like that. People that never used one just hate on it, but like the Kinect device is pretty handy. It's not as useful anymore because the dashboard on the Xbox changed so much that a lot of the stuff is easier and faster to get to now. Like, it's still handy to have a Connect to like pause things and stuff like that. But like in general, like things like that, it's just different when you use it.
Yeah. Um,
Because I never experienced anything with virtual reality, so you know, my mind could be blown just by playing the smallest tech demo, and I'd be like, holy shit, this actually is amazing. Like people aren't just overreacting and in all those videos where they're playing games and stuff. Like it actually is that cool. Or you do get that scared if you're playing a horror game, and something jumps out. It actually is like it's there.
like I would think the whole VR scary thing, like I could see it being like one of those things that'd be good for that, 'cause like your peripheral vision's like narrowed down to like the goggles. So like you could be in a room and basically just like be by yourself and just like have a good time in a scary game, you know? I feel like it would be a selling point for VR headsets.
I can guarantee that I would not have the guts to be able to play like a horror game by myself with VR headset. Like I still have a bunch of horror games like the Dead Space trilogy, fucking Outlast 1, well, I don't have Outlast 2, but Resident Evil 7. Like, I have a few horror games that I already have on the Xbox and stuff, and I just haven't played them because I'm too afraid. Like, I like horror games, and I end up getting them, and then I'm like, I won't play it right now, I'm too afraid. I'll wait on like, a friend is over or something like that, and I can act all brave and play it with them when I'm really shitting.
uh yeah, I mean there's so much that's in the air about VR. Um like I guess I just want to see what it looks like 5 years from now, you know?
Oh yeah, the next I say the next models that release like the Oculus Rift 2 and stuff like that, I'll say they'd be smaller. They'd probably be more affordable. They'd learn a lot. The technology would really push forward and stuff like that. So I say the next wave, or if the games, the software come like in the next year or two, just really increase and they can do a lot more with them. Like the developers like learn a lot more and they mess around with stuff. Like it's still new. It's still like it's not going anywhere. I don't think. Hopefully it's not, because I'd like for it to stay around as another option. Because the more different, unique ways to play games is always a good thing. Like some people just prefer sitting down with a controller. Lots of
Yeah.
people like motion control, like what the Wii did. And then there's people that like just prefer portable gaming. You know, whether that be a mobile phone game, a 3DS or Switch.
Yeah. I mean, the Switch in itself, like, is an interesting, like, um, console in itself. Um, like, just, I don't know. It's just like I never would have thought you could take something like that with you on the go, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing, especially because it just has like I know it's not, like I don't care about graphics, but the fact that it can have like the same graphic, like not the resolution's not as high as like if it was on a TV, but it can still have like really high graphics and resolution and stuff like that while on the go. Like there's so many different ways to play games, you know. Some people like to play all different types of ways: virtual reality, console, PC, mobile, whatever. Like there's no wrong way. It's just whatever is your preferred way, you know. And for virtual reality to stick around and have those type of games and experiences, it's a good thing because different types of games, and that could help grow gaming in general. Because there's probably just people that would prefer to play it with a virtual reality headset than like on a TV screen normally.
Yep. So, Nightcore, what do you think about like the possibilities of VR?
Mm, I don't know. At the same time, I think it will make horror games more interesting. But
Exactly.
I don't know how much further it can go. Like, start adding actual senses into it.
Like a bodysuit.
Yeah, I think that would be a good setup for it.
That would be interesting.
I don't know about like pain, but say like when you are playing a game where you're like running along and then you've got wind on you.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess maybe they could add something to cool the user down.
Hmm.
I will say that like it's limited. Like I wouldn't say virtual reality is good for every type of game. You know, it's not. That's why it's not gonna be a primary. Like it's never gonna take over gaming completely. Like some people would be afraid of for some reason. Like you wouldn't be able to play like an RTS or like some third person games because it just won't. You know, third person like doesn't work with like a VR headset. You know, it's mostly first person because that's how it is. Like it's not gonna take over all those different type of games, you know, or sports games and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's only so
Like
far it can go, like
yeah,
with
like it's only
adding
like
things like sensors. There's not much they can do there either, I don't think.
they can mostly just do first person things and stuff like that. That would really suit it and suit it well. So
Yeah.
there's people that worry about things like that. Like when the Wii was out and motion controls was everywhere, with like people were afraid. They were like, we just want our controllers. We don't want to do any of that motion shit. You know, like it doesn't like. Oh, there's always gonna be like a keyboard and a mouse or a controller because
Exactly.
they've just been around for so long, and
People are
like
so
any
used to them.
company that tries to get rid of that like forever, like it won't work.
I saw an article where they were talking about like while you game with a controller, you could like have like what is actually a headset on, and it's basically like if you were to like be there, like you could experience your character first person view through the headset, and you could also use the controller at the same time. um, but this was just a project that they were talking about that could be in the works, and the idea is like the vision would be like 4K or something, so it make it like as realistic as possible. You know what I mean? So if me and you say we're playing Battlefield 1 and there's shells coming into our face, like it's not just like a TV where like we're away from the TV and we're just like oh, I'll just avoid it. But like if we had that headset on and all of a sudden like there's a crater in front of us with like dust like kicking up from the ground, like I'm sure that make it so realistic, like then we're just like panicking, you know.
Yeah, that's the only thing it can make you too immersed and then take away from the actual game in a sense that you're always worrying about like something sneaking up on you and you get all jumpy.
Oh, I get that way during Halo.
I say this time next year, uh, it should be a good bit different for VR and stuff like that, because then the PlayStation's headset will be out over a year and stuff like that. We'll get to see what type of games are getting announced and stuff like that. If Xbox One is going to start supporting VR, like I say, if VR doesn't look like it's going to be strong in the next year, like it might be harder than everyone thought for it to pick up, because then by that point, like the Oculus Rift be out like 2 years or something, you know.
Yeah. So I understand that Xbox was going to do one, but then they stopped. Do you think they knew that maybe it might be a trend that might fade out, or what are
Yeah,
your
I don't know.
thoughts?
It depends on the games, I think, you know, like anything. Like if so, like it could be something that will just fade out, you know, because people aren't people that got the device now, like rather like the if it's the Oculus Rift, the PlayStation headset, like all those people that were that interested and got it already or got it day one, they've already put hundreds into the device. If it didn't live up to it and they ended up bombing or not getting the content, like if a new one came out, like they're not really gonna be sold on getting it again, considering the first time they got it, it backfired. You know, it wasn't supported as well as they thought it was gonna be. The games weren't as good. You know, they'd be kind of conflicted on getting another device. You know, considering how expensive they are.
Yeah, I mean that's very true. I mean, I want to get one, but I'm on the defense about it. You know, just because like
There's probably like you can probably count on one hand like how many games you're actually so interested to give it a shot right now with a VR, you know?
yeah, it's some of
Like,
the
and then you're thinking like, is this device that costs this much really worth it when these are the only few games that I want to play, and there hasn't been any big new game that has already been announced that's coming out for the VR headset, you know? The
have they.
future for them is uncertain, like, because there's no big VR games that I know of that are coming out soon. So
I would think maybe a good game for a virtual reality headset would be anything involving racing. Because if you imagine yourself putting on that headset with like whatever uh, joysticks or whatever you use, you realize then you're in a the seat of a like sports car and you're racing down the track. You know, I feel like that's a possibility.
Yeah, like if Forza, like the new Forza game was VR, like that'd be amazing. Like for people that like racing games, like Forza, like everyone knows, like that game looks amazing already. Like the
Yeah.
new Forza, like racing games in general tend to look really good. Like, and if you're someone that has a VR headset, it supports VR, and you also have the like the wheel accessory, like that'd be amazing to have a VR headset and the wheel, the steering wheel accessories
Mhm.
that come with that you can get for racing games as a controller. Like that'd be amazing. Like having all that,
Exactly.
it'd be expensive, but you'd be like, shit, I don't need to actually go racing because this is like pretty legit. It's awesome.
I saw uh what was it? I saw the Japanese were trying to work on um like two games with the VR already. One of them was being something to do with samurais, and the other one was like involved like a schoolgirl. I don't know what the story with that is. I just know that you know it's like you play as like a 14-year-old girl for some weird reason. It's just like
It's
why?
Japanese.
Yeah,
That's all the reason you need.
perverted culture. Did I say that? No, I didn't.
Their games can be really weird, or anything in general. Like their animes and stuff like that can go really crazy.
I
Oh no.
told um was it? I think I told you, Nightcore, that I saw a countdown where there's a couple games that were from Japan that were banned, like everywhere else. And I was telling her that you played this like guy in a subway that basically preys on women and
Oh
basically
yeah.
like you basically rape them and it's just horrible.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like you
What
take
did you
away
say there?
they this guy rapes them. Not literally, but he.
What's the game? Like, what? You're
Oh
talking about a
god, I
game?
can't even remember. It's some Japanese game that's like literally banned almost everywhere. And it's
Fuck.
basically like you take clothes away, and it's like a role playing game too. Like you'll
What the?
say things. Yeah, it's really fucking messed up.
How did that game not
Even
get some sort of
yeah,
backlash? Like, or even release? Well,
I
uh,
guess a country's response is to ban sales. Because, like, that thing only became available, I think, in a few countries.
I can see why.
But yeah, and the end of the game pretty much ends where you accidentally knocked up one of them and you kill yourself.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
That's
game's
kind of
pretty
messed
fucked
up.
up.
yeah.
There
To
are a lot
think,
of messed up games though, to be fair.
Yup.
there,
And now I'm aware of probably one of the weirdest ones and darkest and most fucked up and shouldn't exist type of game.
what's the one game I'm thinking of? There's two of them. There was one that I thought was really scary. Was like back in the day, Manhunt. Do you remember that?
I never actually got a chance to play it. I know what it is, and I've seen lots of stuff on it, and how it was banned, censored, and stuff like that. I just never played it myself.
Dude, I got to play like 20 minutes of it and I couldn't anymore because, like, it was literally, you were just like killing other people for no apparent reason but to fight them. And you killed them in any way possible. Like, you could, like, grab an item that was right next to you, just bash his head in. That was pretty much it. Just like anything. And if you found a weapon, oh, that even made it worse, like a chainsaw or something. Or like piano wire. Yeah.
Imagine what that game would look like with today's graphics.
Oh, it'd be fucking brutal. I wouldn't be surprised if it couldn't even like hit the shelves in most countries.
Yeah, it'd probably get banned in a lot of places. Like, it was banned before, so.
Yeah.
Just so many games these days that release. It's impossible to keep up with all of them. Like every day, there's a new game releasing on some system or platform,
Yeah.
and some days more than one. A lot more than one. From triple A's to indies
Hmm.
to ugh, too
I've
many.
been I've been trying to find indies on Xbox, but I
I
don't.
can recommend so many indie games on the Xbox that are worth playing.
I saw one that was for free that I know Noble played called Grow Up.
That's not really. That's not free. It's just games with gold. That's the only reason why it's free. It wasn't. It's not like it's free forever.
Uh,
So I haven't played that myself, so I don't know if it's worth recommending. But it's free. You might as well give it a shot if you're interested.
mm,
I only heard
But
about it
like,
from a friend. I've never played it.
it's like a it's like a robot that tries to get back to the ship, and he just grows plants from like the ground up. And somebody in the chat made mention that it's like a sexual innuendo because it looks like he's holding the plant, just like pervertedly. It's like I'm not touching that subject.
what's up with some games? Ah, but there's lots of awesome indie games on the Xbox and other stuff like that. Like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. That game is amazing. I've cleared that game a bunch of times. I'm happy I streamed it a while ago. Like it's just such a good game. Limbo is a great game. Uh, so there's so many. Like I'd have to look at my gamer score to just like see the list of games that I played.
I can imagine you played a lot.
Yeah, and especially like most of the smaller ones, they're literally mostly like are short, like 2-3 hours or something like that. Like when I get a game, like length of time is not like like if I spend 20 or 15 euro on a game and I cleared it in like 2-3 hours, like I that wouldn't annoy me like some people get annoyed where they complain that oh the game's over already. Like I like as long as the game's good. Like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, you can clear that game in 2 or 3 hours, like even if it's your first time playing it. And when I cleared that game, I was just literally so impressed. Like I love that game. Like I actually bought it again on the Xbox One, like because it came out on the 360 a few years ago originally, and then
Hmm.
they brought it over to the Xbox One, and I bought it again because I love it so much.
And that's
Like
what I think is interesting, the idea that you basically like have to make sure not only you but your little brother is okay.
yeah, like as long as a game is quality all the way through. Like it doesn't have, like isn't that like when I say quality, like it's not mean like high budget or anything like that. As long as the game is good from start to finish, or you're like really having a great time, or it has a good story, and you're really impressed, and it's something that you're gonna remember, like then it's worth it. Like if it's a game that, like, say, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was like 7 hours, and 3 or 4 of those hours was just filler shit that like wasn't impressive or anything like that. Stuff like that in games, like side missions or other missions that just are there to drag the game on. They put like a bad taste on the game, or just don't make it as good as it could have been. Like lots of big RPG or even smaller games that are just filled with extra stuff, but it's not good. Like the games probably would be better off with that content cut from the game, because you'd be having a good experience from start to finish without having to start and then the middle slows down and it's not as good and then picks up like a few hours later, you know?
Hmm.
I don't know. I like side mission in games like Fallout and Skyrim.
Yeah, but lots of games do have filler in them like that. Could be
Yeah.
cool. Like, if you were to spend 20 on a game, do you care so much about time, or if you were happy with the game by the end?
Yeah.
I think the only argument would be that once you're done with the main story, you can be like so attached to the game you just want to do something in it. So that's why they have loads of side quests, so you're still able to have a reason to play the game,
Yeah,
as
but if a
opposed
game
to
is really
running
good,
around
you can
doing
always go
nothing.
back and play it again. If it has
Yeah.
collectibles, you can play it again.
Or
Achievements,
different endings.
yeah, or different. Like
It's okay.
I got all the achievements at Brothers. They're easy to get. Like I didn't get them the first time around, but I played the game again and got them all.
Nice.
I don't know, I just like side quests because like if you keep playing a game's main story over and over again, eventually it becomes predictable. I mean, there is like some amount of times you can play it, but then after it kind of becomes
Yeah,
tedious and repetitive. But you still like the game, so side quests give
yeah, but
you
at
a
some point,
reason to
like when you
play it.
finish a game, it's okay to just like, okay, I finished everything. It's time to move on. It was a great game and stuff like that. You know, side missions
Yeah,
in a game are good to have if you're looking for something else to do. But if you're happy with the game overall when you finished it and you're done with it, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's the length of
I think
the
it's
game.
mostly for people that don't like moving on though from the game.
Yeah, I know, but
Like
I'm
there are
saying if the
some games
game,
that are
like,
so
so
good
game
that you
length
don't want to move on.
means, so game length is very important for you then.
Yeah.
So if you got Brothers for full price and it was only 2, 3 hours, you won't be happy with it.
No, I'd be happy with it. I just find it better if they add side quests. The only thing that I don't like is when they make you do side quests while you're trying to do the main storyline, because I think it just you start to lose the plot if you have to do several quests in between.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I find it tedious. It's sort of like a thing where you come back after the main storyline and you have the option to do it if you want to, but I don't like it if it interferes with the actual story.
Yeah, but it's like something like Brothers. You know, unless the side quests were to take place after the game or something like that, like it wouldn't make sense, you know,
Yeah.
really, considering you're meant to be like on a rush trying to get a cure for your dad and stuff like that. It kind of breaks
Yeah,
it. Like side
some
missions are
games it
good.
works with,
Like
some games it
I'm
just
not
doesn't.
someone that likes side missions and like doing as much as I can in games before I do finish them, if I like the game. But if it's a game that has like Brothers, like it knows what it wants to be and it knows the story it wants to tell, it doesn't want anything else like to slow it down. I'm okay with that if I got paid at a full price and it was good all the way through. But like having games like Fallout, like something like an RPG, you're expecting all those side missions and stuff to do.
Yeah,
When you get The Witcher or Fallout or Skyrim, you're out like you know those games will always be there with like basically infinite shit to do. You're more likely never gonna 100% those games,
Hmm.
which is good too.
yeah, it doesn't work for every game. I do understand the point of where it's meant to be mostly about the story, but it throws you up on all these other side quests and it just becomes tedious.
Like you could also say like Fallout 4 story is a little bit like doesn't like you can't get so attached to it because it also was kind of bullshit at the same time. Like
Mm,
you're someone that's meant to be looking for their kid, but yet you're off doing like a billion side missions and your character seems like it doesn't give a shit. Like it breaks
yeah,
it breaks the immersion in the game. Like it's like,
there's
where is
also
my
another
kid?
thing. You can like go off and romance people several days after your spouse dies, and it's all cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the guy wakes up. It was basically like a minute for him, you know, when he was for like when he wakes up. Like he wasn't
Oh, they
aware
shot
of
my
it.
wife.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, how you doing?
I don't know if the romances really add anything because I believe you can still get the perks without having to romance them. I think it's more sort of just fan service.
Yeah, you
No, they were
can.
like Bioware do it. We might as well do it. You know,
Yeah, BioWare you'd kind of expect it from, but like
at
where
this
there's a
point,
game
yeah.
like Fallout, no, I don't really. Yeah,
They're probably
it
just
just doesn't
like,
really
oh,
fit with
having
the
romance
story.
options that might help. the games sell better somehow because people like having romance options in games.
Hmm.
Mm, you don't really get to do much with the romance though. You just kind of romance them,
Yeah,
and
but
all
some
they do
people
is
probably wouldn't know that. They'd just be like, "Oh, you can do it," and then they'll do it, and you're like, "That was it." Just the bed thing, and then this thing just says, "Oh, you have this thing now for the next whatever hours," and you're like, "That was
Sure.
shit." BioWare give you a cool scene.
it doesn't give you a special perk. All it does is give you something when you sleep with people, which is like not really that adding to the game. So BioWare, they've kind of like put depth into the background of the characters because it, in a sense, is meant to be about romance and is meant to be about bonding with the people around you. Fallout is more sort of focused on the survivor and trying to get to where they need to go, helping the world rebuild. It doesn't really seem like something that would fit in with romance,
Especially with the
if that makes
story,
any
the
sense.
fact that you
Well,
lose
I
your
mean, it's the
spouse
end
or
of the world. I mean, like, you know, there's probably those moments where a guy would probably come from the wasteland. It's like, man, I really need a woman in my life. I just killed
or
like
Yeah, fair
four
enough.
super mutants or something.
my kid's missing, all this shit. He just needs to like let some steam out.
Unwind.
He's like, I should be looking for my kid, but he's more likely dead. Fuck it.
The
It's
gameplay
been like
element,
how many
though, if they
years?
were gonna go down that route, I feel like they should have added more to the actual romance rather than like, we're dating now? Cool. Okay, cool. They don't really
Yeah,
talk or anything. They just go, I love you. It's like, okay.
You know how
I was
It
bad
so
feels so
attached to the
empty.
relationships in that game. They were so well developed.
I was playing Saints Row 4, right? And that
Yeah.
in itself is really close with like stuff. Like there's this robot and I think you were there for that. Like when I was streaming it, it said romance the robot or Sid or whatever its name was. And then the robot
Yeah.
just like looks at me and then he goes below me under my belt and I'm like, "What the
What was he doing?
Oh,
exactly?"
I think I saw that in like one of the Saints Rows. I believe it was free or something. Like where you can romance the characters and all you do is just like, let's have sex. Okay, cool. And then you go off somewhere with the character and then you don't. There's no real point to it apart from like to amuse you, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works, but they'll let a robot like do that. Like they'll show the robot's head in a place that shouldn't have been shown, but yet you can't see the characters like having time with each other. I mean,
Yeah, no.
and
It just goes black, but they show that. I don't get it.
the only thing that I saw came close was like the smart girl in Saints Row 4. She's like, "Let's do it," and she punches him and then gets on top of him, and then it just goes black. Like she pounces him like a fucking tiger.
I guess like on that point that it can make people uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
I suppose I guess some gamers are after that. I don't know. They do it in
There are
BioWare.
gamers are secret perverts to certain things.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit
My
it.
thing is I like romancing the characters in like BioWare games because you actually get achievements from that, and the higher you raise their affection, the more things you can unlock with them. And it's just they've actually put depth behind the characters, so it gives you a reason.
Hmm.
But the sex scenes are a bit. Mm,
Well
Eh.
done.
I guess they're thrown in for all the gamers that are just there for. Yeah.
Mm.
The sex scenes, they're like, hell yeah.
Oh, if you look on YouTube, you can just find a bunch of like sex scenes. So it's
Yeah, because
people
I
just
can only
play
go
it
through
for
so
that.
many hours in a BioWare game to be able to like romance someone.
Yeah, they won't really like value the game. They'll just kind of be there for the sex scenes. That's kind of why I disapprove of it. It just sort of removes from the game because people don't really focus on the game and more so focus on getting to those sex scenes and getting higher affinity with characters. Let's
Uh,
just say gamers can be perverted and leave
Oh,
it there.
yeah, there's no question about that. I mean, I'm sure creating an eye can account how many times we've been in a room and there's that one chick gamer in like our team and somebody else is like, "Are you a chick?"
Oh
Cool.
no. I don't know what the obsession with girl gamers is. It's just like some of them won't
It's
even be playing the game, they'll just be holding a controller and they'll go, close enough.
and then all the gamers are suddenly like nicer to you and they're just like, "Here, I'll take the bullet for you." Ah.
This is just really annoying because I'll be playing games and then suddenly people won't be shooting at me and I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't want to kill you, so just kill me.
does that really
I'm
happen? That's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen Call of Duty, fucking other games like Left 4 Dead 2.
It doesn't happen as much as you think it does, but it does happen at some points where people won't fight you and would just let you kill them because they think you're a girl, which kind of sucks.
It's like either
Wow.
they're trying to be nice to you or they're just like saying like, "Ah, like we'll let
It
her
would be one
win."
of two things. It would be like they'd be riding in front of you to take grenades for you, and then if you're on the opposite team, they'd be like trying not to kill you, or they'd be like bouncing in front of your face, like rocking over to you, like hi, hi, hi. It's like, yeah, I get it. I see you.
I've
Yeah, I say that can be really like I've seen people like freak out and just be all annoying like if a girl talks and stuff. Like I don't get it, but like I don't know what it's like to like be a girl and play games, you know. So if it happens that often, then it's annoying. Like I can imagine like why most people like certain females probably wouldn't want to talk while playing games in certain groups with people because especially kids and stuff like that.
It
there
doesn't happen much, but like the really messed up thing, like when I was 8 years old, I got sent a really inappropriate message. Like people would just do it without thinking because they think like because you're a girl gamer that you're instantly an adult, but there are quite a few kids that play games. So it
Yeah.
gets really perverted and to the point where they're harassing you and you could just be a kid playing a game oblivious to what it all meant.
Yeah, I mean that's sad.
That's just the
Yeah.
messed up side of gaming that I don't really like. That's kind of why I object to everyone being like, "Oh, it's a girl gamer," and then instantly rushing over.
I know.
I've
I like lots of people like any on any community or on any kind of thing. Like can be very toxic, you know. Like I get messages on games. I'm sure not liking to
Oh
like
yeah.
it's just like people can just be so toxic and shit. Like
Mm.
especially if you beat them in a game or something, like they'll just like sometimes send you a message like "What the you fucking cheat," blah blah blah.
If
You know, just
it's
random.
if it's not Call of Duty, it's always like something like Battlefield where I get those random ass messages and they're just like, "Dude, you fucking hacked. What the And it's like, "What? What are you complaining about? You fucking sniped me from across the room." So, that's how the game works. You fucking hacked aimbotter or whatever. Bye.
Oh no.
Yeah, those are fun.
What
But
would always annoy me is like I love my friend to death, but he always do this thing where he get really upset and then he just always be yelling hacker, hacker, and everyone just gets like really overwhelmed and hyped about it, and it gets to a point of toxicity where they just start cursing people out and like people will become quite violent about the games if they don't get the score they wanted.
I mean, I get bad days, but I don't scream. I've
Yeah,
only
there
ever
are
did that once.
some people. it's not many gamers, to be fair, but there are some people that just take it
Way too far, yeah.
and they start like using all these racial slurs
Yeah,
and
that's taking it way too far. I've seen YouTube videos where you see a kid with an axe just chopping the TV because he lost. It's just
yeah.
like, why?
When you're
Why?
playing with people that are loud like that and just being over dramatic and stuff, like it can be so annoying. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I fucking have a headache. I'm taking my headset out. Like this is bullshit. Mute, 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 or whatever. Like that's why. That's like probably why, like, you know, since Party Chat came out, like game chat and basically every game has been dead. You know, like
I
it's
just
not
started
exactly
muting everyone. I didn't even take the risk. I just should just mute everyone because you get the occasional like kid or someone
asshole.
screaming down the microphone. It'll be like halfway inside their mouth and they'd still be screaming.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Yep. Uh,
Uh, when I played Friday the 13th, though, that was like the most I seen people talk in game chat.
well, in that
Like,
game, you
for a
kind
long
of
time.
have to.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Like, I talk to more people, like, on it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got the Game Informer magazine. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but um, they're directly with GameStop and stuff like that, and they rated the game like out of like a 6, and I was like,
Mm.
it seemed like a popular game, right? But on the
Yeah.
list, they described like what was wrong with it. They talked about glitches and talked about like how like people are getting kicked out constantly.
The game still has glitches, and people like goes on the Xbox and stuff. Been waiting for an update for like ages, and it still hasn't come out because they're still working on it. I can say that the game is extremely fun, though. It's worth getting. Probably like when it's fully fixed or if it goes on sale. But it is worth playing. Like it is a really good game. Like I do recommend. It's
I
probably one of the best games I played this year. Like
I could see Night Court being one of the girls in the camp, just like running with her arms, just like, Jason's behind me.
help,
I just
help.
run away.
And then she just takes out a baseball bat and beats the shit, and then Jason's running away, and she's chasing him.
I heard you
The
can kill
thing is, I
Jason.
love horror games, but I am such a coward, so if Jason came towards me, I'd probably just curl up in a ball like, don't kill me!
I just like trying to save as many people as possible while I'm playing that game. Like it just be fun.
Creating Beyond Limits, a hero, gamer.
Sometimes I succeed on saving people, you know. So, like I stay back sometimes, like just trying to save as many people as I can. Lots of times it backfires. Like whenever I'm streaming Friday the 13th, I swear, whoever, like the people that play Jason always kill me first. Like they always just go for me. It's fucking ridiculous.
Because they see you as a funny guy.
Like I died.
I think it may be because he's host. Like, he always hosted games, and then people were like, he'll be a few minutes into a game, and then people will already be trying to kill him.
They
And
see him
sometimes
as a
the
threat.
people playing Jason are just like talking about you're fucking dead, Dean. And I'm like, what did I do? I don't want to die.
Red rum. Red rum.
That's good though.
Yeah. I think it's just funny, like, all the games that they come out with and how, sometimes they're enjoyable and sometimes people just ruin it.
Yeah.
I've experienced the worst of it from Call of Duty games. Never Battlefield. It's usually Call of Duty. That's why I stopped playing for a while.
And I think the reason why I would get Friday the 13th, though, is because of the multiplayer element. Like, it allows you to talk to people and cooperate. Like, someone would get the fuel, you get the car keys, sort of thing.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're ever looking for a game to get, like, it's a really good game. Like, just make sure you look it up and make sure the game is still being patched and everything. Like, I'll let you know because I have it and stuff. Like, it is a really fun game. Like, I recommend people playing it. Like, it's up to you to make up your mind if you think it's worth its price or you want to wait for it to go on the sale. But it is a really good game. And the
I think
developer
I'll wait
said
till the
price goes
bugs
down,
are
or
patched.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand. Like, I didn't know
I
it was
would
gonna be as.
wait. I don't know enough people to like ask, hey, do you want to play Friday the 13th? So like, just for me to get it, I feel like I would get bored without having friends, you know?
You have us. You know,
Uh,
Supersonic has it too, and Mel. So many people have it.
I haven't seen much of them lately. I think everybody's working hard. I
Yeah,
know I
everyone's
am.
been busy. Like, I wasn't even able to go onto the podcast this week, so that sucked.
I was wondering if you're still doing that.
I am. Like, I just. Uh,
Schedule.
um, yeah, schedule. Like, until, like, September or something, it's gonna be, like, crazy, so I don't. I'm gonna, like, get on as much as I can. It sucks, but. Because I miss it. I'm, like, I was ready to go on not the Wednesday that just went, like, last Wednesday before that, but their power went and stuff, and the show had to be cancelled, unfortunately. But I was
Hmm.
so looking forward to it then because I had Wednesday off, and I was like, yay! And then I was like, oh. And then this week I wasn't able to go on it because I was working, so that sucked. But at least I'm
That
on this podcast, so at least I'm on one. Yay! And this is fun.
this is fun. I
Talking
just
nerdy shit is just always fun.
yeah,
Talk nerd with
exactly.
nerds.
My wife said, "Talk nerdy with me," like something like a song. That's like,
Oh, like talk dirty to me, only talk nerdy to me.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
my
thought people go like
precious,
that.
my precious. Be all nerdy. Say lots of nerd quotes and shit. Nerd
It's good
lines.
to be a nerd
yep.
though.
Uh, so I guess before we wrap this up soon, Dean, um, is there anything you want to talk about, like any future projects that you're doing, or anything that you want any viewer to know?
Uh, well, hopefully tomorrow or something like that. I'll get this Linkin Park video done, and I'll try upload my reaction to the newest episode of Dragon Ball Super. If people like Dragon Ball and anime, I'd be doing that. And if I can, I'll try to get whatever videos I can done this week. Like, I'm gonna be in every day, but I'll try to get something on the channel if I get the chance. So stay tuned. And I hopefully will do a more, like, at least one or two game streams at some point.
Yeah,
Oh, Destiny
definitely.
2. We should have talked about that too.
Oh,
Has anyone
Destiny
played
2.
the? Yeah, did you just play the beta?
Nah. Did you?
Yeah, I down like the open beta. It's out today for everyone to download, even if you didn't pre-order the game.
Oh.
So you should download it. Give it a
Yeah.
shot. It's out until
I
tomorrow.
don't know if I'm ready yet.
I really like it. I do. It's pretty good. Lots of people are
I
hating on
haven't
it.
played Destiny.
Like,
I need to get into that series.
Destiny's a great game. Like, it's really good. Some people are complaining that's too similar, and I'm like, are you fucking? Obviously, it's similar. It's like a sequel, you know, and it's made with the same engine. They're not gonna have a fucking completely different engine for this game, you know. It's not gonna look miles better than Destiny 1. Like, there's gonna be improvements in the engine, like where
Yep.
certain lighting effects and stuff like that. But obviously, it's gonna look like Destiny because it's fucking Destiny, and the gameplay is gonna be the same with improvements and stuff, like some adjustments to the gameplay. But it's not gonna be. It's like people see Splatoon and then you see Splatoon 2. You know, people can't tell the difference because it's made using the same engine. It's just a different game with new maps and some adjustments and improvements made to it. But you don't see people really shitting on that game or saying that it's too similar to the first one. You know,
Yep.
Mm,
like as long as the campaign missions, like in Destiny 2, are more interesting and like they said, and like what from the Force mission that you get to play in the beta, looks like it's gonna have a much stronger story, and that was its weakest part. Like the game is fun to play. Like if you play Destiny, you know it's fun to shoot things in Destiny. The gameplay is good. Like as long as it has more of a story and lots of missions and strikes to back it up, like who cares if it looks the same and similar? You liked it originally, why won't you like it now?
If anything, I feel like it's just an added chapter.
Well, that's the difference. Like that because it looks like it's similar, lots of people are just saying it's DLC. But it's gonna be a game, like its own game. So it's gonna have content that is the length of a game. So they're not gonna release a game that's gonna have like over like probably 60 hours and have a charge of like 10, 20 euro, you know? It's a full game. Like it's going to have like its own set of multiplayer maps, its own strikes, its own raids, you know? It's not going to be just a DLC.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to figure out the whole game share thing because, like, I have Destiny digital copy and I wanted to share it with Night Court, but um,
yeah.
I'm not sure how that works.
And as far as I know, like I don't know too much about the game share thing, but all I know is you let people have your account or something like that and then it works.
Yeah. Figured out that part. Just yeah.
You, like you give uh Nightcore your account, your details and whatnot, and then Nightcore makes that like account like the permitted file I think on her Xbox or something like that, and then that way she can play the games even on
It's
her
just
file.
logging into the account that's an issue right now.
Like so you can play like you have to make sure that you set it that this is my Xbox on when you're on his file on your Xbox. And then he can still
Mm.
play his games when he's on his file, but I don't think other people can or something. I don't know how it works. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that'll just show you how to do it. Because I don't
Yeah.
know, I haven't done
Apparently
it.
you can only share with one person. That's about all I've grasped from it so far.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can only share it with one person.
Because, like, what I did was, like, I tried the password that I gave her and it was the right one, but she kept telling me it wasn't working.
Yeah.
It's
It
kind of
Oh,
just
weird.
kept saying to me, use your Microsoft password. That's all it said to me, really.
I don't know then.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Um,
I might do it when you're in a call with me and then show you what I'm doing to see if I'm
yeah,
doing anything wrong.
that's good. Um, Also, like, if you want, me and even Dean can try helping you, like, get set up for that stream thing. Like, you can even just use,
Yeah.
like, Mixer if you want to start out with. Like, that would be just
Yeah.
My thing
easy.
is like I'm not really adjusted to Mixer. I'm more sort of adjusted to YouTube and all of my
Well, there's
friends
no
on YouTube.
difference other than you set it up on Mixer and then you just open the Mixer page and then you can see your chat. It's
Yeah,
actually even easier to stream to Mixer than YouTube because it's built into the Xbox. All you have to do is
Yeah.
all you have to do is hit broadcast and that's it. And you can
and
My
see the
thing is
chat.
like I don't know who would watch me at first other than people I know, so
well,
Yeah,
that's
but that's
the
people
how it
thing I
works, you
get
know?
started.
people show up.
Um yeah, like I said, you're an interesting person, you're nice, you're kind, you're interested in games. You're not gonna like just be pretending to play games or anything like that. You have
No.
knowledge of games. You're not bad at games, you know?
I see that too many times. Just
I
like the
yeah,
random
like
women.
girl gamers on Twitch, they won't be playing the game, they'd just be like booth
Battlefield
camp.
1! Check out my boobies in this picture, too. It is
It'd
not a
just be like
lie.
20 minutes of their chest.
Is
Exactly.
that a thing?
Or they'd be doing like dares that chat gives them like call someone you know and pretend to be pregnant or like say something sexy and say this word sexily or something.
Does that annoy
They'd just be
you?
doing dares and requests.
Does that annoy other girls when you see girl streamers that just do that shit?
Not all girl
No, I'm not
streamers,
saying
but there
all,
is
obviously. I'm saying the
concerningly.
audience ones. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that because like there are cool female, like obviously. Yeah, I'm just saying, but the ones that just have like it pointed at their boobs and their cleavage and shit like that, and
Yeah.
the game's like tiny screen compared to their chest, just taking up the whole screen or something like that.
It's like, get me
Unfortunately, that is a
viewers.
massive problem. I believe they're trying to fix it, but
It's mostly on
then
Twitch
they'll
though,
do.
isn't it?
No, it's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, is it? I
Really?
haven't seen any. I haven't seen any
Yeah.
of that on YouTube.
I've
I
mostly
don't,
just seen it on Twitch.
Like,
I
look
don't
up.
really watch it on YouTube though that much. Mostly podcasts,
It's
not
probably on
game
Mixer
streams.
too. Like I said, if you're streaming on any platform, then pretty much you'll find a couple people that do that. Hell, I saw
Mm.
somebody have a thumbnail of what looked like a woman in a thong showing Battlefield 1 on her screen. I was like, what? And there's like
It's
53
just
people watching.
it's just an excuse like to show your chest and to get more viewers and subscribers and donations under
There's
the
nothing wrong with that, but they
ruse.
know there's other sites that like are better suited.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the
Pornhub.
whole they do it under like the ruse of gaming and all of that. And then
I'd
it
be a bit
just
weirded out though, because most of the people that be clicking on it would just be kids.
mm,
Maybe.
Would
that's
that not be
probably why
weird
they
just
should.
knowing that mostly it's just all
Yeah,
kids just saying, oh, boobs, oh, yeah, like so hot, blah. It's like, okay.
that's kind of one of the reasons why they should go over to Pornhub or something like that if they're interested in something like that. Because it's just, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with kids learning about like boobs and stuff. Uh, yeah.
As long
It's
as
just
their parents
some of
know
the
what they're
things
watching.
they do is a little bit too inappropriate at times.
What, the streamer or the kids?
No, the streamer.
They'll probably
Well, you
like.
obviously seen something that was a bit too much.
I.
Yeah, like dares. Mm.
What happened? Now I'm interested.
There was like I'm trying to remember what it is. I believe someone got banned off of Twitch for this, but they were doing all these sexual dares where they had to say things in sexual voices, and it escalated quite a lot to the point where they were saying some really absurd things that should just not be said.
I saw a thing for like top 5 like female gamers that didn't realize their camera was on, and even though
Oh no.
some of it looked like it was staged, others were like I don't know how the
What did
fuck
you say happened? Sorry.
they didn't realize that they were live streaming after a game or something, and
Oh, okay.
Oh,
they showed 2 women basically like, you know, having fun with themselves, and
there's
the
even a
other,
guy, I think.
yeah,
Uh,
There's there's even like a clip of someone like accidentally like they get up to move and they accidentally lift their leg and they don't have underwear on something
yeah.
and they just
cringe.
flashed the whole camera and they got banned for that.
I saw one where a guy was in his PJs and I guess he had one of the ones that didn't have a button to his area. As soon as he got up, his
Yeah.
like thing showed.
Oh no. You've got to be so careful. That's the only problem like what I have with live events. Like if you mess up, it's permanently out there. If there was a video, you could like edit it.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I'm always afraid when I'm doing a live stream that I'm gonna fucking either
Forget
say something
something.
stupid, or if I did have to connect like a camera on, like something stupid would happen. Like, I don't know.
Sometimes when
You
I
just
had a camera on, have to make sure that I have pants on properly or something.
It's like, gotta be ready.
It's like
It's
dressing
like,
up for
what if
work.
you're just in your underwear and the camera accidentally turns on? You've just like flashed all of your viewers, and you
Like,
can't take
shit.
that back because they're
I
live
knew I should
watching
have
it,
worn
so it's
pants
already
today.
happened.
Then you
I had the
find
cam.
out.
You have the camera
You
set
just
up
gotta,
in a different
you
way.
just gotta always like look around you and be like, so. As much as it sucks, like be so paranoid, like just in case something does happen, because if it does, you can get like banned permanently or get like a channel taken down from that.
Yeah, that's
It would
There's
suck
so
if
much
like
censorship.
Markiplier
Like
or
you mess
something
up,
just
you're
accidentally
done.
screwed up.
like, well, that'd be so funny though. At the same time, like, imagine just like, I'm not in the mood to wear pants today, and you just have the camera set up so it's like kind of at your like above a little bit, and then at some point you forget and you get up, or the camera just like falls down a little bit, and you're like, fuck.
You know what's
The
really
if
messed up is like you see really buff guys that work out. Like some guys don't wear shirts, but
mm,
apparently sometimes that's okay compared to like a woman doing that and then you're automatically banned. It's like how's that any different? Yeah,
True.
it's like a guy showing off his pecs like, yeah, baby, I lift.
It's not different. The band, it's worse, I guess, right? Because they have their top off. Like at least the other people don't, they have their tops on. The person that's showing off his pecs is actually has his shirt off. That's actually worse, wouldn't it be?
That just
mm.
it sounds like the worst porno ever.
Like it's
It's like
not worse because it's just like it, but at the same time, like it's just trying to get away with more. No.
yeah, a
Well,
guy
if I ever have a channel and I know it's going downhill, I know how I want to go out.
Oh.
Just stand up randomly and
just
just like
randomly set your desk on fire. I'm done.
just the most dramatic shit. Just flick like a lighter somewhere, the whole room sets on fire. You're like, I'm out, I'm done, goodbye. This was fun.
You stream
Or
a good
like
bit
have
with your webcam on, though, don't you? Like,
Um yeah, kinda, yeah.
do you have a connector, or do you have something else that you're using?
I use OBS at my desktop.
And you use a webcam, or?
No, it's built in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
oh, I would not be able to stream with like a face cam or camera on. I'd be so paranoid I was just gonna mess up.
So you'd never do it?
I don't know if I'd never do it. I just like keep it to a short period of time. Like if someone's like, "Can you keep your camera on?" I do this on Hangouts calls quite a lot. If someone says, "Can you put your camera on?" I just put it on for a few minutes until they're content, and then I wait for them to look away, and then I turn it off. Just
uh,
wait till they lose interest and forget, and then you go. You just like, nah.
yeah. It's I don't know. Like, when you stream though, they give you the option to have your camera on or not.
Yeah.
I've streamed a good bit
Uh,
before in the past with a camera. Fucking on Twitch and stuff. I haven't done it on YouTube yet. I don't know if I will. Like I'm also like self-conscious and paranoid and shit like that. So, which is weird. I don't mind doing the videos like reaction videos with a camera, but I don't know.
I
I
get
don't actually still don't like doing that. Like I'm still trying to get used to that shit. But
I do get nervous sometimes for my personal thing. Like hell,
mm.
even doing this whole like podcast made me nervous because I was like I'm not used to doing something without a gameplay, and I'm just like,
when you
Yeah, I
asked, I was
had to
like, I really
leave
wanted to do
halfway
it.
through.
But you
Like
see,
I'm
we're
still
all here
nervous.
together.
Like I
Yeah.
do. Like I just was like I wanted to be on. I wanted to do it, but fuck. Like I was like nervous because I didn't know what we were talking about or at, and like I was like, shit, I'm gonna fuck up or something.
I think if you think too much about like certain subjects or like messing up or to do this or to do
Yeah, that
that,
That
it makes it
tends
all
to
like
happen for
heavy.
me. The
Yeah.
more I think about something, the more like I panic and like if I just do something and try my best to not think about it and just let it happen while it does, it's better. But if I have
Just let
time,
it happen.
if I have time, my mind will just overthink and just make me freak out more.
I get those
I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
moments.
bad mind, bad.
I
That's what
get
I have with exams, like the build up of it all. It just if you get over with sort of like a band-aid, it's so much better than if you just like wait all day to peel it off and then suddenly you just go yeah, that would just you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I just know for me, it's like I start getting hot and I'm like, is it fucking hot in here? Oh, Jesus, what the fuck? I need to take off my shirt.
Become like Wolverine, tear off like I can't take the tension.
I am not here to entertain. Bye.
I had to leave. I got so nervous. I was just like, nah, it's just too much.
Oh well, I know this isn't over yet, but this is all going well. We've all been very talkative.
Yeah. I just couldn't at the start of it. I need to get adapted to things before I'm able to talk. It's the same with anything.
Baby steps.
When I was first doing the podcast on the other, like on the coffee casuals, like I was shitting it. So, uh, like I said, even with this one, like still shitting it. It's just you shit it less though, you shit less as it goes on.
It's like we're all comfortable together. It's just
Yeah.
trying to put on a show for everybody. I think that's got our minds like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's like the whole live event, like everyone's watching, like, oh, don't look at me, don't see me, just, I'm not here.
Just think everybody's naked. Okay, I'm good.
That doesn't really help me, it just makes me laugh, honestly. And then
Knowing
I'd just
you,
be
it probably
laughing on
does.
podcasts. It just would not be helpful. Just like, I imagine everyone naked, just like burst out laughing and everyone would think I'm insane or something.
Is she okay? I don't know.
You're
We
not
might have
talking
to
to
get her
anyone.
mom.
You're not on a podcast. This is all fake. You're insane.
This is an
What?
It's all in your head.
interdimensional
This is
video.
all in your head.
I'm in
that's
a mental
that's great.
institute, and these people are not real. This is just me thinking it, and I'm bobbing back and forth as
Oh,
the nurse gives me a shot to help me sleep.
have you ever had those thoughts growing up, like everyone around you is in your head?
What?
You start worrying about all this deep stuff out of nowhere, like everyone around me is in my head, they're not real.
I think of what they thought of, like, like when I would wear glasses at a young age. They were like I was thinking like, I wonder if they're like thinking I'm a four eyes or a freak. Like I had those
My thing
moments.
was always like being paranoid people would talk behind my back because I got bullied for so long that it just turned into like I'd rather them say it to my face and like everyone would be on this thing where they like push me around and act like I was gross and they'd always say the same things and then I was thinking, yep, they're definitely talking behind my back and that led to
I always thought
paranoia
it was
and
cool when people
anxiety.
had glasses. You know.
You know, nowadays it's like even like the thicker glasses that back in the day were like the common glasses, they're like popular now. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's gone
It's
from
like a
like
nerd
really
thing.
nerdy to the point where you get bullied to the point where it's more sort of an accessory. Like, yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm an attractive nerd. I'm
Or a
like it can be
hipster.
like a person. It's like a person that doesn't really know anything about being nerdy, but makes themselves deliberately look like a nerd so that everyone's like, "Oh, attractive nerd" or something.
I think that's what a hipster is those guys that like see a
Yeah.
trend and then they just like go with it. Sometimes
I hate that so much. I mean, you can wear what you want, but it's like, uh,
they like
people
feed
get
on
so
trends.
extreme.
What
Yeah.
what I saw a commercial where it's like these guys had man bonds, like like have women have like hair up in like a weird bun or something on their hair.
Oh no, man buns.
Yeah, I was just like, what
There's a
the
bunch
fuck?
of man buns everywhere I go in town.
What the fuck
I
is
kind of.
this?
What's it?
It's just like one day someone showed up with a man bun, half the
And then
school that I was
everybody in
going
the
to showed up.
goddamn country wanted a man bun all of a sudden.
A man bun is just when they have their hair tied up, is it? But like kind of long
It's
hair.
basically like if you imagine a woman with like a bun in her hair, then imagine a guy with a bun in his hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I was just like, I saw that in a commercial, and this guy's like, trends are gonna die in 3, 2, 1, and then he just snips it right off the bat.
There's like two styles you'll see teenagers wearing. It'll either be like a man bun or like really gelled up, greasy hair. I don't like it. Ugh. No hate on man buns though, in case someone comes after me like, you're hating on my man bun.
Trends. Some of these
It's
trends
like
are
fidget
like really
spinners.
weird.
I was just minding my own business, and then suddenly one person said fidget spinners, and then like the whole thing blew up over like one day. Like I could go a whole day with like not hearing anything, and then suddenly I click on the internet, and then suddenly fidget
It's
spinners are everywhere.
And the thing is, like places you wouldn't expect to sell them. Like I went to a shopping center where there's like different stores. A kitchen supply store sells fidget spinners. What the fuck? Kitchen supplies. They just wanted to keep in the trend, and they wanted that extra
Well,
dollar.
Yeah.
I have like 23 spinners collected. How many do you have?
0.
You don't have any?
Yeah,
I think they look
I don't need
pretty,
that.
but like some of them are so expensive. Like, I'm like, why would I bother? It's just
You can just order them online like I do. You get them pretty good.
I went to a farm, and like there was like pigs, there's cows, there's llamas, all these animals, bees, and then
I
they've
haven't-
got all this Indian culture, sort of old-fashioned steam engine things, you know, sort of like old things. And then suddenly you've got this one booth with just fidget spinners everywhere.
I actually don't really have any spinners. I was just messing.
Secretly hiding the fact that he's spinners. Like, spinners
Okay.
great, and then there's just a silence, and he's like, oh.
Nah, I don't have any.
I feel like I would get one just to see, like, just to spin it around because I fidget, so I mean,
Like
it could be cool.
I held one and messed with one for like 10 seconds. That's about it.
But it just
Don't own one.
It is
my
the
thing is
biggest money
it's so
maker ever.
overhyped that my problem with things is I don't hate the actual product. I hate the hype behind it. Like some TV shows and other stuff, like there would be so much people. Like I went off Death Note for a while because everyone would just be saying like I should watch Death Note and just sort of like forcing it in my face, sort of thing. That I just could not watch it because I got sick of it.
That's terrible.
You just made like
I don't
his
know.
ears bleed.
I made so many enemies with that one statement. It's unreal.
How could you say that? La, la, la.
Well, I'd say that Death Note gets bad at the second half, so.
I do think though that they have overdone a lot of things related to Death Note. Like some animes just like they come out, then they go. No, not Death Note. Couple Japanese and somewhat English movies later, and
So like, I always have friends that would talk about Death Note and Attack on Titan. The thing is, the actual animes would be really great, but like, so many people are a fan of it because it's so good that it would sort of spoilers everywhere you go, and they'd just be like, watch Death Note, to the point where you just don't want to because people have said it so much that you're just like, yeah, you know what, I don't really think it's as really that riveting anymore.
Yeah, it's like that with some things. Like there's talent recommending something, but then constantly telling someone to watch something is different.
Yeah.
Like I can recommend something to you, but like that's up to you if you want to watch it. Like if I kept saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
you should watch this show" every time I talk to you, it'd be annoying.
No, the thing is, like, everywhere you go, you get like one person saying it, and then another person will catch on to it, and then it will become this massive thing where you just be so sick of it.
Massive
I'm
thing.
okay. I'm okay with fan bases. Fan bases and communities are like, oh, I just love them to death. But when you've got actual like friends and other people that everywhere you go you see fidget spinners, it's like, oh no, I'm not interested anymore. It's
You know
such a
what?
shame because like things can be so great. It's just ruined for me.
Yeah.
It's like that with any fan base or community. Like there's always lots of lots of toxic stuff and shit in them. Like even gaming, you have your Xbox
Mm.
and your PlayStation hate, because people can't like both because I think it's against the law or something. I don't know.
It's just like, why?
It's like against the law.
You know what's funny?
You can't get along with your Xbox and PlayStation.
You know,
Exactly.
you say that, but people don't realize, like a lot of people don't know, is that Xbox and PlayStation are pretty much owned basically by the same company. Like there's a third party company that owns all their shares, and they basically
Yeah.
run both companies. So in reality, they're both the same thing.
Don't tell them that they'll probably freak out.
Oh
Well,
no, you can't say that. Like, and
Didn't lie?
you're gonna, you're just
What
gonna
did
trigger so many people.
what are you
Don't even
saying?
step down that hole.
if I pissed people off, I'm sorry, but I'm not changing my facts. So you know where my mailbox is. Just leave hate mail. Thank you.
Oh, that's
Oh
one of
no,
the worst
like
things when you have an opinion and everyone gets so triggered. They're like, "Change your opinion now, I'll stab you." It's like, it's okay, calm down.
I find it crazy though. Like it's like the most annoying thing in games. Like is people like constantly bashing the other system. Like if one of them has an exclusive game, then they'll bring out a video like saying that, oh, that game's shit because like it's not on their system. And then the second they get a game that's even similar to that game, it's like amazing.
Yeah, what was the God? What was I? There was this game that was competing with Overwatch, and that game lost like bad.
Valborn?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because fucking Blizzard made Overwatch, it's like everybody go to that game. And I
Oh
think
well,
Battleborn
Valborn
came
wasn't that
out
good.
first. It wasn't?
You know. No, I played the beta for it and I wasn't impressed.
I was telling Nightcore that that'd probably be a fun game for her. Because it kind of reminds you of Halo, but it's like everybody has their own unique abilities.
Which one are we talking about? Overwatch
Overwatch.
or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. You seen Overwatch, have you?
yeah, I've seen people play it, but it's like the thing that I have going on. There's so many good games out that I don't know what to get first, and you only have like a limited amount of money, or at least I do right now. So I'm trying to think of what I can actually get with the limited amount of money that I have because there's so many good games out right now.
Well,
Sometimes they have sales. Like, that's how I
Yeah,
got Destiny and my Overwatch Anniversary Edition. It's
that's
like
what
on
I did with
sale.
Halo Wars 2 Ultimate Edition. I waited till it dropped in price.
Oh, you got that?
I think that's mostly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wait for sales. Yeah, it looks really good, so I thought
I played the
I get
first
it. And I
one.
like the original.
Halo Wars 2 is pretty good from what I played. I told you we could play it at some point if you wanted. Like do the campaign and co-op or something.
I don't know when mine's coming out.
Oh well, I was playing it originally with my cousin, when it came out, but we haven't played it in like 3 months because we're never on at the same time. So I don't think we're ever gonna finish it. So I might as well just play it with someone else.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like the original came out and I pre-ordered the special edition ages ago, but I'm still waiting for it to actually be here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have no idea when it's coming out. I was just told it was a pre-order. I got these special packs on Halo 5 from it.
Nice.
You've been waiting a while for it, though, haven't you?
Yeah, like a good few weeks now. And the game has been out, like, probably longer than that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes.
Yeah. I'm beginning to, like, wonder if I should have just got, like, it without the special edition, but I thought it would be worth it. I don't actually know what it adds, but I got the special edition of the original, so
I think it comes with the season pass,
yeah.
which is adding like new multiplayer stuff, and I think it brings out a new campaign mission later on in the year.
Oh, nice.
So
It's just like the special edition was on sale and was cheaper at the time than the original, so I thought, stuff it. But you've got to have like dedication and wait for these things.
yeah.
I just know, like the games I'm looking forward to. Like, there's so many of them. There's a Battlefront 2, Red Dead 2, um, and there's some DLCs that are with Battlefield 1. There's like so many that I want to get. Not to mention, I like the idea of the 4K Xbox, but I know I ain't getting that right away.
The Xbox One X.
Yeah. See, everybody was talking like it would be a new system, but it's just Xbox One, but it's just the higher end of it, right?
Well, they always said from the second they announced it, like last year, that it was part of the Xbox One family, and that it's gonna be able to play all Xbox One games and still be able to play the 360 backwards compatible games. It's just gonna have a different version of those games that has like 4K support or higher frame rates or whatever version the game gets supported with.
I think a lot of people get confused though. I was even asked like, does that mean like, are they still producing Xbox One? And it's just that there's gonna be some games that are gonna support the 4K.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what was wrong, but I just didn't know.
like the games are still gonna come out on both of them. Like it's the same version. Like all your Xbox One games, like if you got the Xbox One X, like the second you log into your Xbox One X, like all your and you log in with your account, your history of downloads and everything that you downloaded will still show up on it. And when you re-download them, it will just be downloading the Xbox One X version. You don't have to pay anything extra. Like, and it's just gonna look and play better than it did on the original Xbox. So you're basically getting like a remaster for free, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I won't
interesting.
like. I'm not. I'm just using the word remaster because it's a better version of the game that you had previously. You know, whether it be a significant increase or it depends on how far the developers go with each of the patch and stuff like that. You know, some people will probably like some developers will probably just half-ass it and just like higher resolution. That's about it. Whereas some developers will probably go in with the Xbox One X version of the games and make sure that the frame rate's higher or more stable and the textures are a much higher resolution or the 4K textures and stuff like that. They'd go the extra mile to make sure it's as good as the console's able to support.
See, some people were talking about like, is the stream gonna be better? But like, there have been some cases where, depending on your system, like you won't get like 1080p or something, but you'll get 720. You know,
Wait, what?
um, like the streaming portion of things, like sometimes like you could have the best equipment, but it could be still streaming because like under 720 or something. Because like depending on Mixer or Twitch, I think they usually use 720, and the only way to make it better is if you like edit your own videos, you know. Because that's what I do with my programming is like I up the HD and it works.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But it makes me wonder, like, if you use, like, say, Mixer or whatever that they'll have on the 4K, will that make it, like, actual 4K
I
sharpened?
don't know, but I know that they said that it's gonna have a higher like DVR, like when you're taking a screenshot on the Xbox One X, like it'll do a 4K screenshot and stuff like that. I just don't know
That
when
sounds
you're
pretty
like
sweet.
the console will probably be more capable of streaming in like higher resolution. Like I don't know if you're gonna be able to stream in 4K from the console itself, but you'll be able to stream in a much higher resolution, I say, than uh, the Xbox One normally, as long as your internet can support like those kind of streams.
Is there a game that you would like to see in 4K, guys?
Like I said, I'm not much of a graphics or resolution guy, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't think one.
Like I don't even have a 4K TV, so
It's amazing how, like, I got everything set up, and as soon as I did, guess what, everybody? 4K's out!
I
Ah!
really like
yay!
Fable 3, and I think that would be quite pretty because it has a lot of different scenes like Steam, sort of Revolution areas, and then more sort of bandity camps and
Did
waters and forests and all these werewolves and other animals, and I think that would look quite pretty in 4K.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel
I
like
don't.
You just have
um
a 4K TV?
I don't have 4K.
Do you, Nightcore?
No. I have a big TV, but it's not like special graphics. It's more sort of, you know,
Is it like
just
the
the
classic
average
like
graphic.
boob tube?
Wait,
uh,
what?
You know, boob tube, like it's the square box.
Oh,
You know, like the ones me and you grew up on.
yeah.
well, I can show you my TV, but I don't think it would actually appear well on stream. Hold on. Let's see if this actually works. Cool,
I
get the
seen
boobies,
that.
okay.
I didn't see it, but I believe you.
I didn't see Anne.
There you
I
go.
see.
See, it's not really that
Special.
Do
great
you have Project
graphics.
Spark on?
Hmm?
What's that? Is that Project Spark? What game is on?
I think
This is the game that I was talking about, like the anime one. Hold on.
Okay.
See, there you go. It's not very easy to see because my camera is kind of bad, but
and it's
it's
free.
yeah, it's free. There's sort of like chats you can talk to other people and you can have like parties of actual other players, and there's like little portals and little hubs that you can come to chat. It's more sort of like an open world adventure but with side quests and the main story, and then you get to see other characters running around and have little pets.
Nice.
I don't know, I think it's good for a free game.
Yeah, anything is good. It's free, you know. Free entertainment. You can't go wrong with that.
I don't know if I'd say anything. There's some games you can just not get me to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I told my wife, hey, let's try Overwatch. You may like it. She didn't like it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Some
thinking about like streaming this game on Mixer if I'm able to, and then you guys can see the actual. The graphics aren't that bad, and the gameplay is quite fun.
Yeah. You know
And you
what's
get to like
cool
customize.
is like, like I think you can have like if we all did Mixer, we could do a co-stream together up to 4 people, right?
yeah, 4 people.
I think so.
And some of our followers will see you and they'll click on you.
I don't think I'd get that much attention, honestly. I'm more sort of the nervous type.
Mm.
Mostly, I just
Well,
try to be honest about things and play the game and talk about it the best I can. But
That's all streaming is about. You talk about the game and have fun doing it.
yeah, like actual interacting with people in the kind of hard for me. Like actually talking to them.
Sometimes they just small talk. Like for me, like
Yeah.
they do a lot of small talk sometimes. YouTube's the only channel that I get like a lot of people just saying stuff. Like usually on like Twitch or Mixer, like they'll just like,
Oh, okay.
what game are you doing this on? Xbox or something?
Mm,
Uh, this has been a fun
oh,
show.
yeah.
yeah, it has been. Thanks for asking us to come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. I would hope that you guys come back for another time.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Just let me know
I'd
and if
be
I
up
can as
to.
well. No
Yeah,
reason not to. It's fun.
I'd be glad to have you guys back here. Um, we'll talk about like another topic another time. I'll have to think of one. I'll have to
Yeah.
maybe look at current stuff, but if you guys have any ideas, just message me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
All right.
So hopefully Quazo comes back next week, and then we'll have 4 people in this group.
That'd
Yeah,
be
you
fun.
can like slowly build it out.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this has been Nightlike in 720 with my friends here, Nightcore and Creating Beyond Limits. Um, if you want, you can check out their channels. Um, Dean is like similar to me. He also does movie reviews and other things. And Nightcore creates music sometimes. So if you're
Yay.
into that, you know, it's cool remixes, by the way.
Yeah, I seen
Thank
a few
you.
of them. They're really good. I told her to keep
And as for me, I'll just keep doing what I do. And maybe one day I'll reach 1,000. One day.
one
Alright,
day
you'll
Maybe.
get there.
we'll all hit 1,000.
Yeah. I don't know how Xbot does it. That guy's got
Imagine.
way too many people. Alright, so uh, I guess I'll be streaming again pretty shortly on what I don't know. And are you getting off, Dean? Like off to sleep, or
What's it?
are you doing any gaming later?
No, I'm gonna. The second this is over, I'm going straight to bed. I'm up super early tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn McDonald's.
No, not work. I'm going to an air show.
Oh, air show.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
planes and shit.
I love
There's got. It's
airplanes.
just like every year, like in a place down here, have to get trained to it. Like there's an air
Oh,
show
sounds
and just
fun.
lots of planes just going around doing shit tricks and shit. Like it's cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's fun. It does be jam packed. It does be effort getting home because everyone leaves at the same time, and well, should be fun.
Alright.
Alright, well, good luck to you.
Yep. Good luck to you too, sir. And thank you guys for supporting the podcast. And if you'd like to see more of us, leave a comment. And if you have any suggestions to talk about, leave them also in the comments. And I also have links at the bottom for things that you can keep track of me on. Other than that, thank you guys so much for your support. And we just ended our pilot episode.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Alright. Now let's see how I click this. I guess I just end it, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
Yeah.
bye guys.